Good morning, magandang umaga po. I have a good news and a bad news. Well, I should say just a good news, okay? I received this Federal Express, no, not Federal Express, Priority Mail from the post office today. And guess what? I received my passport. I just received my passport. Now, let's go back to October 29 is when I went to New York City. And we applied. I had an appointment. To get that appointment, I had to wait about, I think it's a month and a half or 2 months. But I selected the date that I thought would be convenient for me. So October 29th, we went. And it is now December 19th. That is about 7 weeks. So I'm right in that when they said to me it will take 4 to 6 weeks, I said, I doubt it. Philippines is so slow. I'll give it up to 8 weeks. So I said 6 to 8 weeks. And it arrived on the 7th week. Okay, so it took seven weeks to get here. A little bit over 7 weeks. Again, this is great because I don't have to bring my dual citizenship documents, my marriage license, and so forth and so on. Well, maybe if it applies to me, for example, if I am married to a non-Philippine citizen, I'll bring my marriage license. But no, I'm married to a Filipina also. So this is all I will need. I don't have to worry about anything. See, the biggest problem with this is just to remind you about what I discussed earlier. The biggest problem you have is when you have these dual citizenship papers, you go to the Philippines and they will honor this. You don't need a passport. They will honor this. Here is the problem. Somebody will need to take you from the United States or another foreign country to the Philippines. If you cannot get to the Philippines, the fact that Philippines will honor it doesn't count. Now, if the country of your origin knows that this will be acceptable, I'm willing to bet they don't. Okay? But if they do, for example, if you're flying Philippine Airlines, they should know that, okay? But if you're connecting, let's say, you need to go to San Francisco or LA to pick up Philippine Airlines, and you're flying from Akron, Ohio, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, these flights, mostly domestic or maybe other foreign countries, may not know, okay? So if they don't know and you cannot get to the Philippines, the fact that Philippines will honor that dual citizenship ID is worthless. It's worthless. So I'm glad I have this. Then I don't have to bring any of my documents. All I have to bring is my US passport and Philippine passport. Okay? As a reminder, if you have both passports, when you leave the US, you just show your US passport. Well, for example, I don't think there's any immigration checkpoint when you leave the country, okay? It's when you come back that you need it. But the airline will ask you, and you show your US passport, and if you're going, let's say, for 7 months, they will say, oh, they may allow you because you're a former Filipino. But for example, before December 7th, if I were a former Filipino, I was not allowed. This is before December 7th, okay? Because there was a change. But if I have this, I will be allowed. But as a former Filipino, I will not be allowed. Okay? Now, when you arrive in the Philippines, you show both US and Philippine passports because they will stamp both passports. And when you leave the Philippines, you again show both because they will again stamp the exit. They'll put an exit stamp on both passports. When you come back to the US, you keep this and you only show US passport. And in the US passport, it will show that you came from the Philippines, so everything is complete. Very simple. Okay? When you leave, usually nothing is required. Show US passport. If they say, gee, you cannot stay too long with the US passport, I'm also a citizen of the Philippines. Okay? Then you arrive in the Philippines, you show both. Once you leave the Philippines, you show both. When you come to the US, then you only show US passport. Easy. Okay? Now, the cost of this is only $60, and this is now good. It's valid from November of 2020 to November of 2030. 10 years. So that's like $6 a year. Of course, that does not include the cost of going to New York or whatnot. But, I made it a day. If I'm going to New York, I might as well do something that I enjoy and do it at the same time instead of looking at it as, this is too much trouble just to get the passport. Enjoy yourself, okay? Enjoy yourself. So that's what I would suggest for people so that they will have a hassle-free. Okay, here's another one, by the way. I understand that if you want to open a bank account in the Philippines, and a lot of people, if they're frequently traveling or maybe partly residing or spending a lot of vacation, especially those retired individuals who spend 2, 3, 4, even 6 months in the Philippines, you want to open a bank account. You open a bank account, they usually look for an ACR card, which is for non-residents and some residents also. But if you have a passport, you don't need that. Okay, you don't need that. So you have something to present to the bank, and they will open the account for you right away with no issues, no questions. So that's another advantage of having a passport. I just feel comfortable having a passport. Now, when I'm in the Philippines, I leave behind my U.S. passport. I only bring Philippine passport. You can need it for anything. If you do any banking, you show this. You don't expose yourself to being an American citizen. Because when you're an American, you know what? I don't know how they can smell you. We went there and they always know we came from the United States. What's going on? We're not telling them anything, but yes, we know you came from the US. So maybe it's the way we dress up or what? I have no idea. But anyway, this is all you want, okay? This way they don't take advantage of you. You don't get treated like a tourist, like a foreigner. You know how it is in the Philippines. As embarrassed as I might be, that's the reality. In fact, what is this? In Intramuros, I saw the prices on tricycles or whatnot. So much for Filipinos, so much for foreigners. They even have 2 layers of pricing, and it's even published. I can't believe it. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you the good news that I already got my passport and ready to go if only I can go. And I can, but I don't want to go because of all this swab testing and quarantine and all that. Now, I will get my vaccine as soon as it's out and as soon as I can conveniently do it. I just want the other people to to go ahead of me because I wanted to see what kind of reaction they're getting. Are they getting sick or what? Not that I'm scared of it, okay? It's just that as a precaution on my part. But after about a month or 2 and millions of people already got theirs, I should feel comfortable getting it, okay? And some people started throwing some comments that are like, it's ridiculous. If you don't want to get it, then don't get it. Don't get it. But don't even put that comment that they're going to kill you and so forth and so on. People are so crazy. Okay, so please do share this with people you know who might be of interest about the issue of having a passport. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I will appreciate that a lot. And please make it a great day, and God bless.